Shalom, shalom, Israel, giving all praise to the Most High and His Son Yahushua. We're the Battle Axes of the Most High coming back to you on a Friday night feast or Shabbat Shalom as well. And I got the brother Donovan, a soldier Donovan, got soldier Ezra over here on the other side, man. See that? Yeah. See? Hey, Shabbat Shalom to everybody that's out there that's finna tune in or like that's gonna be late. I know we starting a little late because we had some technical difficulties or like some lack of communication, but you know we got it under control. But hey, I asked the congregation and like brothers and sisters that's tuning in, I asked that y'all throw those prayers up for you know the Battle Axe family, as well as that any other congregation that's going through like you know whether it be hard times or going through some type of illness or sickness. But we got it going rampant around here, man. But you know, like you say, whom the Lord love you, he chasten, man. So you know it's just that season. But today's title, it'll be Love Your Brother, man. Let me say that again. Today's title is Love Your Brother, man. Because yeah, I know Maccabees, he might get on to me. Might talk about DISD, but hey, forget this English language, man. Thing. But yeah, I brought this class out, or it was on my mind because we got to go back to the basics of like where it all started. When we was loving our brothers and sisters, hey, couldn't nobody stop us, man. But then, hey, as soon as we started hating one another, having some type of envy toward each other, hey, all hell started breaking loose. And that's why you see sensitive brothers out here shooting other brothers for stepping on his shoes. Or, hey, even looking at his woman, and he wasn't even doing it in a provocative way, but, hey, he shot her because he just looked in that direction, or so on and so forth. Same with the women. Hey, they talking about, hey, you trying to, you know, take my man, or whatever the case may be, man. But hey, we got to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments and start loving our brothers, man, and sisters, because even Christ himself said that's one of the two greatest commandments, man. But first precept we're gonna go ahead and get to is 1 John 2:9. It's one of the classics, man.
The book of 1 John, chapter 2 and verse 9. He that saith he is in the light and hated his brother.
And what?
And hated his brother.
So we know what the light is according to Proverbs 6:23. He didn't say that he's in the light but hated his brother. Read on.
Is in darkness.
Is in what?
Is in darkness.
Meaning you are in sin because you have some type of hate to your brother. Because, hey, that's why Christ said what he said, man. He said, hey, you know, love the Most High God, but also to love your brother, man. Because you can't have one without the other. Because, hey, even loving your brother is a commandment within itself, man. So it ain't no getting around it. But go ahead.
Even until now.
Even until what?
Even until now.
Hey, even until this very day, we got brothers and sisters that's in darkness, man. Because they hate their brother. But go ahead.
He that loveth his brother abideth in the light.
So, hey, he that loveth his brother, they abide in these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. But go ahead.
And there is none occasion of stumbling in him.
Hey, read that again, man, because that's true.
And there is none occasion of stumbling in him.
So that brother that's loving his brother and his sister, like as he'll love himself, hey, there's no stumbling, you know, in his way, man. Hey, that means he's walking on a straight and narrow path, man, as the Most High God commanded us, man, because he gave us straight commandments. So he's telling you straight up, hey, love your brother. But go ahead.
Verse 11. But he that hated his brother is in darkness.
So it's basically reiterating itself. But go ahead.
And walking in darkness. And knoweth not whither he goes.
So, hey, brother that's walking in darkness, hey, even like on the physical aspect, when you in the dark, hey, you can't see nothing. That's the same aspect of a brother that's hating his brother. He's in darkness, man, because he don't know where his steps is, man. Because we know ultimately the Most High God direct his steps or whatnot, but at the same time, he'll give you over to your delusion and have you thinking that you're in a right state of mind or walking in the right direction. But hey, surely, hey, you'll find out in the end, man. You'll be in that lake of fire, man. But go ahead.
Because that darkness had blinded his eyes.
He did what?
Had blinded his eyes.
So, hey, that brother is blinded, man. Hey, that's why I say, hey, the blind is leading the blind, man. Because even with these pastors, hey, they be hating on their brothers too, man. But the next precept we're gonna get is Mark chapter 12, verse 28.
That's a curse.
Yep.
Deuteronomy 28, 29, all day. And guess what? It's a commandment to love your brother, man. Oh, I say you don't love your brother, you're in darkness. Now you groping at noonday. That's how you know all the prophets. Guess what? Even the new epistles, and guess what? All the new prophets in the New Testament, they all kept the law, man. So another thing we always got to reiterate, man.
That's all praise, man. Because like even like how I was saying, like these pastors, they hating on their brothers. You know who they hating on? They hating on us, man. Because we bringing out the raw truth, man. But hey, they be like, man, you cutting into my money. Hey, you got people that they used to be like, you know, going hard for the Christian church. Now they all trying to convert to being Israelite, man. But hey, at the end of the day, you ain't doing that to us, man. You're doing that to the Most High God, man. Because He's the one that sent us out to do that, man. To do His will. But Mark chapter 12, verse 28. Yeah, 12 and 28. My bad.
The book of St. Mark, chapter 12 and verse 28. And one of the scribes came, and having heard them reasoning together, and perceived that he had answered them well, asked him, which is the first commandment of all.
So, you know, this is a scribe asking a conversation between the scribe and, you know, Christ. He's asking Christ, basically trying to test him to see what answer is Christ going to give, man. What is the first and greatest commandment? Go ahead.
And Yahushua answered him, the first of all the commandments is, hear, O Israel.
What?
Hear, O Israel.
Because like even like I see why Maccabees and like the rest of the captains be saying what they be saying as far as you know, not just talking to that brother that's in front of you or that sister that's in front of you, but talking to all Israel, man. So because you know Christ, he was that master teacher. So he wasn't only talking to, even though that brother asked that question, hey, Christ addressed Israel as a whole, man. But go ahead.
The Lord our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart.
Hey, so with all thy heart, read on.
And with all thy soul.
With all thy soul, read on.
And with all thy mind. And with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. So hey, this is how you start out, man. Once you start loving the Most High God, hey, everything else will start falling into place. But let's keep on reading though. And the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. You should do what? Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Hey, we gotta love our neighbor as we love ourselves, man. Because our neighbors, hey, they tend to piss us off at times, but at the end of the day, hey, you commanded to forgive them 70 times 7, man. That's you know, Christ just throwing a number out there, man. So hey, however many times it takes, you know. Hey, we ain't gonna get hit over the head too many times now, man. Because some brothers, hey, they just doing it purposely. But nevertheless, hey, you still supposed to love them at the end of the day. But go ahead. There is none other commandment greater than these. And like that's Christ basically summing it up. No, it's not saying that's the only 2 commandments. He's just basically summing everything up as a whole, man. Because we know it's 613 law, statutes, commandments. Man. But let's go ahead. That's crazy. Yeah, for real. Bro, if you read it, I'm Christians, man. If you just read it, right? He asked the question, bro. Verse 29, right? Well, verse 28. Then he answered them. Because guess what? It's always a teaching moment, man. That's why Christ, that's what he wasn't just, that's why he said, that's why we literally say we don't labor for ourselves only, but for all those that seek learning. Right. Guess what? We out there on the highways and byways, brother. Like, I'm just talking to you, brother. Don't use the mic. Well, guess what? We're not just talking to you. Right. Because guess what? More brothers and sisters might have that same question, that same thing, right? So he asked the question, what's the greatest commandment? Then he said, guess what? Not just you, but all Israel. Because guess what? That's all he's talking to, right? He said, O Israel, the Lord, our God. Because first he beat the Trinity right there. He said, yeah, Jesus, Yahweh out of his mouth said, the Lord, our God. He didn't say the Lord, oh, me, I'm the God, or the Lord, y'all God. He said, our, man. He said, he is the Lord, man. He is one Lord. Guess what? It's only him.
And then he went on to break down the rest of that stuff, man. I'm telling you, boy, the Lord fight on multiple fronts too, man. The Lord fight on multiple fronts, man. You just gotta see it, man. That's it.
Hey, that's why I say he's the master teacher, man. Because he ain't just talking about one specific topic or whatnot. Hey, he killing all doctrines, man. Man, he is tough, man. But let's go ahead and see where Christ got this from. For you people that think that the law is done away with, man. Because hey, prime example, we got we brought out an example. Now we even finna bring it to perspective, man. Do exactly what the king did. Let's see where Christ get it from. Or got it from, shall I? Leviticus 19 and 17. You already know.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
What?
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
Because this is even on just a common sense level. The opposite of hate is love, man. So yeah, he ain't saying directly like how it was said in the law, but hey, we can't just be foolish all the time, man. We gotta have a mind of our own at times, man. Through these scriptures, of course. Hey, that's the word I'm looking for. But he said, in any wise, rebuke thy neighbor, correct thy neighbor, man, because correcting your neighbor shows that you love him, man. And we got many precepts that talks about that, man. But go ahead.
And not suffer sin upon him.
Because hey, we can't be suffering sin on our brothers, man. Because if you're doing that, that means you hate your brother. But go ahead.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Of who people?
Of thy people.
Because hey, we know that vengeance is the Most High God, man. Because hey, even though he's doing all that to you, he's your neighbor. Hey, the Most High God got the last say so. He like, hey, sit back, son. I'm finna show you, finna whoop your brother, man, in front of you. And then you'll learn from it. And then everybody else that try that, hey, I'll whoop him in front of them too, man. And it's a learning lesson, man, every time. But go ahead.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
I am who?
I am the Lord.
So hey, that's the law, man, all day, man. But next precept.
Real quick, bro. It's the same thing. It says in verse 18, it says, thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. This going into Crips and Bloods too, man, because we were just having this discussion outside with one of the brothers, he kind of trying to come in the truth. And I said, man, don't you know the same person that invented Bloods invented Crips, and they killed them over a female, man. You know what I'm saying? And now here you go, Crips against Bloods, but a lot of people, they don't even know what Crips represent, what Bloods represent. You know what I'm saying? When you put Crips and Bloods together, Bloods mean brothers leading others out of destruction, right? It come from the Bible. Everything lead back up to this word, man. Crips mean community resistant in progress. So if you put Bloods and Crips together, it means brothers leading others out of destruction while community resistance is in progress, bro. So you see why it was created. Community resistance was in progress. Why? Because the white man was always trying to rape, rob, and murder our people. He was trying to kill our people. That's why the community was resistance in progress. Then you got other brothers leading others away from destruction. How do we lead other brothers away from destruction? By doing what verse 17 says. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor. You got to correct your brother sometimes, man. When you see your brother going off. And that's all I had on that.
That's a damn good point too, man, because hey, like how they perceive Bloods and Crips to be nowadays, it ain't nothing like how it used to be, man. Because it was all for like a good purpose, like I was bringing out. But now, hey, brothers want to be Bloods just because they see they homeboy being a Blood. Like even how I was bringing out earlier when we were talking to brother. We got Bloods killing Bloods, you got Crips killing Crips, man. But hey, y'all supposed to be on the same team supposedly, man. But hey, it all like goes back to the so-called white man, because you got Democrat and Republican. And then when you look at the police lights, man, like Jerubbaal was bringing out. Hey, so you know it's all like a system to set us up for failure.
You can go back further than that. Yep. The South and the North.
Hey,
one was red, one was blue.
Hey, you can go further than that. Hey, Jacob and Esau, damn.
And that's the crazy part about it because it's red and it's blue. You got red and blue. Red and blue. What's the color on the police light? Red and blue. Where y'all get y'all gang back? Because originally, really, Crips used to wear black. You know what I'm saying? Where y'all get these colors from? Y'all get it from the law. Just like how they always say, they get a Charger, we want a Charger. They had a Crown Vic, we wanted a Crown Vic. We just following after the heathen, man.
Like even before the Bloods and Crips, it was the Black Panthers, man. The only thing that was missing was this Bible, man. They had that Bible, hey, a whole lot of that stuff, you know, would it survive. But, you know, Most High God, he do everything the way he wanted to go, man. But hey, you got your so-called Bloods and Crips nowadays, man. And now, hey, they out here teaching his word. So, hey. But next precept, let's get 1 Peter 3 and verse 8.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, and verse 8. Finally, be ye all of one mind.
Of what?
Of one mind. Having compassion one of another.
So it said, finally, be ye all of one mind. Because, hey, that's how it started. Once we have one mind, hey, can't nothing stop it, man. Like, because, hey, how the scriptures say, man, we are one body, man. Hey, you got the toes, and you got the fingers, you got the brain, you got the leg and the arms, and so on and so forth, man. But read on.
Love as brethren.
Oh yeah, and it said have compassion one of another, because we gotta have compassion on our brothers and sisters to a certain extent. But at the same time, hey, we will give them that fear tactic as well, man. According to Jude 1:19 or 1:21 through 22. But go ahead.
Love as brethren. Be pitiful.
Be what?
Be pitiful. Be courteous.
Because hey, you ain't always gotta be hard, man. Like, or these brothers nowadays trying to act tough and stuff, man. Hey, because mainly you be the weakest one. Hey, but you know, even with Christ, you know, he showed a pitiful and courteous side. But at the same time, hey, every good person has that side if you bring it out of them, man. But he was doing it in the name of the Most High God's sake, though. So know what you're doing these things for, man. But go ahead.
Not rendering evil for evil.
So it said, not rendering evil for evil, man. Just because this brother did something to you, don't mean you got to retaliate, man. Because that goes back to the law. Don't be avenging and grudging against another. But go ahead.
Or railing for railing. But contrariwise, blessing. Knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye should inherit a blessing.
That ye should what?
That ye should inherit a blessing.
So basically saying, hey, kill them with kindness, man. And then it said, hey, that ye should inherit a blessing because, hey, let's say if you have like a situation or whatnot and you handle it like the Most High God told you to, hey, he's going to bless you in the end, man. Right? It's going to be a curse on that brother, man. Therefore. But let's go ahead and go to the next precept. We're going to get 1 Peter 1:22.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 1 and verse 22. Seeing ye have purified your souls.
You did what?
Seeing ye have purified your souls.
Because, hey, loving your brother, hey, that's pure, man. That's purifying your soul, man. But go ahead.
In obeying the truth.
And what?
In obeying the truth. Through the Spirit unto unfeigned love of the brethren.
Of the who?
Of the brethren. Right. See that ye love one another with a pure heart.
Not with a wicked heart.
With a pure heart. Fervently.
Hey, it said fervently, man. So, hey, these are precepts that y'all can just line up in the chamber, man. You know, that's how my classes always go, man. But next precept, we're gonna get 1 John chapter 4 and verse 7.
Guess what? That's even another baptism precept.
Hey, it is.
Guess what? That's the thing that's gonna purify you. The truth, man. Obeying the truth at that. Through the Spirit, man. That's another way of how to cleanse your body and cleanse your temple. Like we just got a piece of dedication. Always find ways to rededicate your life back to the Most High each and every day, man. Go ahead.
You said verse 7, right?
Verse 7. Yeah, go ahead.
The book of 1 John, chapter 4, and verse 7. Beloved.
Be who?
Beloved.
So we know what the beloved is according to Luke 3 and 36. That's Israel, man. He's talking to you, but go ahead.
Let us love one another. For love is of God.
For what?
For love is of God.
That's where we get it from. We get it from the Most High God, man. Like, even like how you bring out in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, a time to love and a time to hate, man. But a lot of times, hey, he wants you to love your brother, but hey, it's gonna come a time where hey, we're gonna hate Esau and you know the rest of these nations. We already do really, but hey, you know, it's the Most High God's doing, man. But go ahead.
And everyone that loveth is born of God.
Is what?
Is born of God. And knoweth God.
Hey, that's another precept for knowing God. Hey, if you love your brother. But go ahead.
He that loveth, he that loveth not, knoweth not God. For God is love.
For what?
For God is love.
This is one of the Christians' favorite precept, man. For God is love. Yeah, he's love, man. But hey, let's get the real definition of what you know what love is, man. We ain't gotta get it, but you know, 1 John 5:3, his commandments is what love is, man. But hey, even when they say God is love, hey, God is you know, got these commandments for us. Hey, that's what it is. The law, man. Well, next precept. Well, we can jump down to verse 12.
Verse 12.
Verse 11.
Verse 11. The book of 1 John, chapter 4, and verse 11. Beloved, if God so loved us,
read that again.
If God so loved us,
said, if God so loved us, read on.
We ought also to love one another.
But hey, that's tough within itself, man. It's it like because we even got to go back on the aspect that the Most High God, he could have chose any other nation, man, but he chose us and he loved us, man, and he still do love us. He said, so hey, therefore, if I love y'all, y'all need to love each other, man, because y'all my children. Y'all gonna do what I say, otherwise I'm gonna kill you. But go ahead.
Verse 12. No man had seen God at any time. If we love one another, God dwelleth in us.
He said, hey, if we love one another, God dwelleth in us, but we don't.
And his love is perfected in us.
And his love is perfected in us, man, because even though we ain't seen the Most High God, hey, we love him, man, because obviously we keeping his commandments. But go ahead.
Verse 13. Hereby know we that hereby know we that we dwell in him, and he in us, because he had given us of his spirit.
Of his what?
Of his spirit.
Of his laws, man. You know, John 6:63. We'll jump down to verse 16.
Verse 16. And we have known and believed that, and we have known and believed the love that God had to us. God is love. And he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God. And God in him.
So, hey, reiterate yourself. We'll jump down to verse 18.
Verse 18. There is no fear in love.
There's what?
There is no fear in love. But perfect love casteth out fear.
So it says there is no fear in love. Because even going back to how the Most High God said, hey, he didn't give us the spirit of fear, man. So you ain't got to fear about like how other people might perceive it. They be like, oh, he friendly because he loved his brother. Hey, we don't give a damn what you talking about, man. Hey, we gonna fear him that, you know, kill body, you know, the body and the soul, man. But at the same time, he said, hey, there ain't no fear in love, man. Especially if it's genuine. But go ahead.
Because fear had torment. He that feareth is not made with perfect love.
Read that again.
He that feareth is not made perfect in love.
Hey, so if you over here fearing, hey, you ain't made in perfect love, man. Because you got to think about it. The Most High God said he loves us. So what that tell you? I mean, he gonna protect us, man. Yeah, he'll chastise us and all that, but at the same time, at the end of the day, he's gonna protect you, man. Therefore, hey, that love is made perfect, and you ain't got nothing to fear, man. But read verse 20. Well, verse 19.
Verse 19. We love him because he first loved us.
Hey, that's playing the point table. He said, hey, we love him because he first loved us, man. It's not a give and take type of thing. It's a give and give type of thing, man. The Lord say, hey, I loved y'all, so y'all got to love me, man. Love each other. But go ahead.
If a man say, I love God and hated his brother,
I wasn't gonna get this till later, but hey, we hear it now. Go ahead.
he is a liar.
He is a what?
He is a liar.
So he said, if a man say I love God and hated his brother, he is a liar, man. So hey, I got a whole lot of thinking to do. But go ahead.
For he that loveth not his brother, whom he had seen.
So he said, hey, if you ain't loving your brother who you see every day, read on.
How can he love God whom he had not seen?
Which will make you a liar because hey, you ain't seeing God. Therefore, hey, you can't love the Most High God if you ain't loving your brother, man. But go ahead.
And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God loveth his brother also.
And I like how he ended that word. He said, and this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God love his brother also, man. You know, he reiterated himself a couple of times in that precept, man. But you know, that's how, the Most High God did it. That's how Christ did it. That's how the prophets did it. That's how we do it, man. Because like, we know Israel is a hard-headed and stiff-necked people, man. You got to tell them a couple of times. Even with your own children, you got to tell them a couple of times. And after a while, hey, you're going to whoop them, but you still love them nevertheless. Yeah, something.
Man, I'm telling you that, but that's heavy, boy. Because the deeper you dig into what that love is, man, just think about how much you got to love somebody. How much you got to love your people to go out to the highways and to the byways, and the slums and the ghettos every single Saturday and continue to tell you people, y'all the best thing on the planet. No matter how many times they might have cussed you out, wanted to fight you, stab you, kill you, throw things at you. Guess what? You got to really have some love for somebody to tell people, hey, you still God chosen people. Come back to your God, man. Guess what? That's no fear in love right there, man. You're not scared of what he'll do to you. Because guess what? You love him so damn much. I gotta tell you, bro. I gotta tell you how much I damn love you, man. Guess what, man? Hey, man, that's a lot of things, bro. Everybody right now is scared to love one another, man. Guess what? Because they're scared to correct somebody. Guess what? If I love you, I'm gonna correct you on what you're doing, man. Guess what? If you going off, hey, you going off. You need to fix that. Guess what? But the brothers don't love each other like how they used to love each other now, man. Like even how the Oxen and them used to say, man, it used to be back in the day, you catch a little kid skipping school or something. Them old heads gonna make sure you get back to school, man. But guess what? They scared now, because guess what? These young niggas got Glocks, switches. Guess what? They got more guns than the army damn near, bro. That's fear. But guess what? Now you got us back on the block, man. We don't care what y'all damn got, man. Guess what? The Most High God gave us a belt to whoop y'all little ass, man. Because we love y'all enough to tell y'all, man, y'all going off, man. Come back to your God, man. That's that fear that we need to remove from ourselves and come back to who we are, man.
That's a bold statement, man. Because like, even when you just look at it, hey, we love y'all so much that hey, we'll put our life on the line for y'all. Hey, y'all probably, try to y'all gonna try to knock us off and stuff, man. Or even Esau himself, man. But at the same time, we still ain't got no fear, man. And we wouldn't lay our lives down, man, because hey, we'd rather fight every last one of y'all versus the Most High God, man. Hey, he ain't gotta do nothing, he ain't gotta lift a finger, man. Versus y'all, hey, at least we'll knock a couple of y'all out, man.
Guess what? I'd rather die. And guess what? All them people at the West End station be like, damn, these niggas died telling us we the best thing on the planet. Hey, then for us to die and be like, damn, I saw that nigga selling dope yesterday. Or that's probably how he got. Or, you gotta think about it, man. That's why I said a good name, man. It's better than riches, man.
You gotta think about it. That end part is tough because he said, man, that he who loveth God loveth his brother also. It says in verse 19, it says we love him because he first loved us. You gotta look at Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 7, man. It's going into telling you that you are a peculiar people and a royal nation, but at the same time, he said the Lord had not set his love upon you because you was more noble, because you were the fewest people of all. Right. The Lord had loved you. I mean, he it's because he loved you. He didn't choose you because you were the most in number. He chose you because he loved you. You know what I'm saying? And that's tough.
He said, hey, we were the fewest in number, man. Hey, we were the lowest of the low, but yeah, hey, he still chose the lowest of the low and made us the greatest thing on the planet. But next precept we're gonna get is Genesis chapter 4, verse 1. I know that's Jerubbaal's favorite precept, or favorite chapter. Cause it's like even though we read it a whole lot, hey, it never gets old, man. Because this is like the prime, really the first instance of a brother hating a brother. Whenever you get there.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 1. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord.
I did what?
I have gotten a man from the Lord.
So, hey, Eve, she conceived Cain, man. She said, I've gotten a man from the Lord. Go ahead.
And again, she again bare his brother, Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep.
So, hey, she had another son, which was called Abel. We know.
But Cain was a tiller of the ground.
So one was a keeper of the sheep, and the other one was a tiller of the ground, man. But go ahead.
And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord.
So if you just really think about like how the correlation of the class is going, and Cain, if you just think about it, Cain brought fruit that was on the ground, man. Shit that fell on the ground. And he's trying to give it to the Most High God. So what that tell you? He didn't love the Most High God, man. Like he said he probably did. But go ahead.
In Abel, he also brought of the firstling of his flock, and of the fat thereof.
But hey, when Abel did it, hey, he went all out, man. So hey, he proved that he loved the Most High God, man. But go ahead.
And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
So hey, the Most High God said, okay, I loved you first. And you showed me that love back, so I have respect unto that offering. But go ahead.
But unto Cain and to his offering, he had not respect.
So hey, when it came down to Cain, you're like, hey man, I loved you. But hey, you ain't show me that love back, so therefore, hey, I ain't got no respect to you, man. But go ahead.
And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell.
So hey, as soon as the Most High God told him that, hey, Cain, he started to feel some type of way. He started getting in his feelings, man, being sensitive, a tender and delicate Negro, man. But go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth?
So he like, nigga, what's wrong with you, man? Read on.
And why is thy countenance fallen?
And he said, like, why is your countenance falling? Why you feeling some type of way all of a sudden, man? Go ahead.
If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted?
If you would have did what I told you to do, wouldn't you have been accepted, man? But go ahead.
And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
So if you ain't doing well, then hey, you got sin right there. That's right there at the door, man. Waiting on you, man. You ain't even got to knock, man. All you got to do is just open that book. But go ahead.
And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
So hey, it's gonna rule over you, man. That sin is gonna basically possess you, man. But go ahead.
And Cain talked with his brother Abel. With Abel, his brother. And it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him.
So hey, whenever you just look back on how the story is going, first Cain, he basically grew a hatred towards the Most High God, which trickled down to having a hatred toward his brother. Therefore, he killed his brother, man. But go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother?
So, the Most High God, he already know where Abel is at, man. But he's like, hey, where's your brother at, man? See if Cain's going to own up to it, man. Because even right there, the Most High God gave Cain a chance to basically repent, man. Like, he was like, if you tell me the truth, hey, I'll try to, make it work between me and you, man. But hey, nevertheless, hey, he over here lying and stuff, man. But go ahead.
And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
So now he's trying to be smart with the Most High God. He like, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? Am I my brother's woman, man? Or do I take care of this, man? But go ahead.
And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cried unto me from the ground.
So hey, the Most High God says, man, why you just kill your brother, man? All because he gave me an offering that was way better than you. So now you got all in your feelings to the point where you killed your brother, having a hatred towards your brother, and not only your brother but towards me. But go ahead.
And now art thou cursed from the earth, which had opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. So
hey, now the Most High God, he cursed Cain just like that, man. But go ahead.
And when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth.
So, hey, like how we read in the beginning of the story, Cain is a tiller of the ground. But hey, Most High God said, hey, whenever you till that ground, it ain't gonna henceforth none of the fruit that it's supposed to bring forth. But he said that you're gonna be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. But go ahead.
And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear.
So now, hey, Cain over here complaining, talking about, hey, man, my punishment is more than I can bear, man. I can't handle this. But hey, again, all he told you to do was, hey, give me your first, hey, and then you'll be accepted. Otherwise, sin lies at the door. And now that all this chastisement is being put on you, now you're talking about you can't handle it. But we know the Most High God, he ain't finna put nothing more than what you can bear or whatnot, man. But even going into like the other aspect of it, we know that this is Esau in a regeneration, man. So, but go ahead.
Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me.
So now, Cain making up all these examples and accusations and saying, man, hey, these people gonna kill me whenever they find out who I am. But go ahead.
Verse 15. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold.
So, hey, the Most High God is basically telling everybody else, or like let Cain know, hey, vengeance is mine. I'm gonna do what I want to you. But if anybody else try to touch you, man, I'm gonna deal with them sevenfold, man. But go ahead.
And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. Should kill him. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod, on the east of Eden.
Of the what?
On the east of Eden.
Because that mark is going to basically give Cain leprosy, man. So that's how everybody knew who Cain was. And then it said that he went to the land of Nod on the east of Eden, man. So basically he was basically kicked out of Eden, man. Because all the atrocities that he did, man, just in that little time. He didn't give the Most High God what he was supposed to, and then he sat there and killed his brother, added sin unto sin. But next precept we're gonna get is 1 John chapter 3, verse 15.
And that's how you know that's Esau.
Yeah.
Just think about it. Who is one person on earth that's gonna kill and do anything they gotta do for respect?
Right.
Guess what, man? The Lord didn't show respect unto Cain. What Cain gonna do? I'm finna kill my brother. I'm finna do whatever I gotta do to get respect from the Lord. And guess what? Instead of repenting of what he needs to do, he gonna stand proud on that, man. Right. And my brothers keep him. Like, damn, you know all things, right? That's basically what you're saying. You know what it is. Guess what? That's how proud people are. And guess what? Respect will get people in a lot of trouble, man. Respect, man. Because guess what? That's literally what we do today. Guess what? Esau do it for damn sure. That's why they try to be like the Most High God so they can get some type of respect from him. But guess what? You won't get nothing like that. But even bringing it to our brothers, guess what? Even us. A lot of people say, man, I'm going to die by my respect. I'm going to die about this. I'm going to die about that. The hood going to respect me for this. No, the hood is just going to throw some damn flowers on the corner for you. They don't respect you. Man, we got to look at this thing in all them ways, man. Look how it started, man. It took off from him not getting respect into another person getting it, man. For him to be like, oh, hell nah, man. This nigga got respect before I did. He jumping and I ain't. He got all the understanding in the Bible and I don't. Guess what, man? He up and I'm down. Oh, no, I can't go for that. And guess what? Luke to Luke, man. We got to see this thing for what it is, man. Go ahead, all right.
1 John chapter 3, verse 15.
The book of 1 John, chapter 3, and verse 15.
Start at 12.
Start at 12. The book of 1 John, chapter 3, and verse 12. The book of 1 John, chapter 3, and verse 11. For this is the message that ye heard from the beginning.
Start at 10. That for real this time. Yeah, 10. Boy, it's the starting.
The book of 1 John, chapter 3, and verse 10. In this, the children of God are manifest, and the children of the devil. Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of God, neither he that loveth not his brother.
So it said, hey, in this the children of God are manifest, and the children of the devil. Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of God, neither he that loveth not his brother. So, hey, basically saying that if you ain't doing righteousness, or if you ain't keeping his commandments, hey, you ain't part of God, man. Neither is he that don't love his brother, man. And that's plain upon table. Because even going into like how we said the children of God, Abel will be considered a child of God, but then Cain, he'll be considered a child of the devil. Man. But go ahead.
Verse 11. For this is the message that ye heard from the beginning.
From the what?
From the beginning. That we should love one another.
So it started all the way back in Genesis, man. So can't nobody say, hey, it just came over time, man. Nah, it's been since the beginning, man. But go ahead.
Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one.
Who was of that what?
Who was of that wicked one. And slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him? Because his own works were evil.
Were what?
Were evil.
So hey, he over here mad. He over here mad, man. Cause he like, man, my way. The Most High God basically telling you, hey, your works is evil, man. That one wholeheartedly. Go ahead.
Nah, nothing. Because in my Bible, where it says a message, in my Bible, it's translated to say the commandments. So guess what? He said the commandments has been here from the beginning. So guess what? Since Cain and Abel, guess we even know even during Adam and Eve, the commandments have always been here. But guess what? He even said not as Cain, who was of that wicked. Guess what? They both came from Adam.
Right.
But guess what? When he had the spirit of Esau, that's how you know. When Genesis 25, he said it's two manner of people, two nations. Guess what? He said, man, Cain was of that wicked one, man. Right. He had the spirit of his forefather Esau, man. And I'll tell you, you got to look at this thing, boy. I'm telling you.
Generation, man, all day. Like you just look at the characteristics of Cain, then you look at Esau, man. They're the same people, man, just in a different time they expect.
Yeah, for real.
Hey, not too far away from each other either. They both in the same book in Genesis. But read on.
In his brother's righteousness. In his brother's righteousness. Marvel not, my brethren, if the world hate you. We know that we have passed from death unto life, because we love the brethren.
Read that again. Because we love the brethren. It says we know that we have passed from death unto life because we love the brethren. Because we was all and we was all spiritually dead, man. But once we came into life, hey, we started, loving our brethren, man. But go ahead.
He that loveth not his brother abideth in death.
So hey, if you ain't loving your brother, hey, death and destruction are to you, man. That's plain and simple. That's what the Most High God sees. But go ahead.
Whosoever hated his brother is a murderer.
Is a what?
Is a murderer.
So if you hate your brother, not only are you already not loving your brother, hey, but you a murderer as well, man. It's the same aspect of like whenever a man rape a woman or whatnot, he's a murderer, man. So hey, that's adding sin unto sin every single time, man. But go ahead.
And ye know that no murderer had eternal life abiding in him.
So hey, you have a chance to repent, man. You can get your slate clean, man, and no longer be a murderer or be a hater towards your brother. But hey, if you don't, hey, you ain't inherited the kingdom, man. That's plain and simple. But go ahead.
Verse 16. Hereby perceive we the love of God, because he laid down his life for us. For who? For us. And we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren.
Because hey, even within that, man, that's tough, man. Because hey, we know that Christ, he laid his life down for us. So in return, we should be able to lay our life down for our brethren, man. Because hey, like I say, we ain't only laboring for ourselves only, but for all them that are seeking learning, man. So hey, even with us laying our life down, that's even like, showing and teaching them, hey, what we really about, man. Like whatever it takes, man, for us to make it to that kingdom and for y'all to make it to the kingdom, Lord's will, man. But go ahead.
But whoso hated this world, Shalaki. It says, but whoso had this world's good and seeth his brother have need and shut his bowels of compassion from him, how dwelleth the love of God in him?
So it said, but whosoever had this world's good, basically saying like, hey, you got all the good that's coming to you. Hey, you worried about the things of the world, and see his brother have need and shutting up his bowels of compassion from him, how dwelleth the love of God in him, man. So it's like, even within that, man, you basically can't, what's the word I'm trying to say? Like, you can't have the love of this world, man, and have like different type of respect and praises and like, you know, basically being a stumbling block to your brother, man. You got to show him what's good and what's evil, man. But read 18.
My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth. So
it said, hey, you can't just be over here basically showing mouth lip service, man. You got to be in deed and in truth, man. Hey, so put forth some type of action, man, showing that you love your brother. But you know, in righteousness, though, not in wickedness, not having respect and praises. But the next precept we're gonna get is 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 1. This is another good read that I always go back to from time to time.
Yeah. The book of 1 Samuel chapter 18 and verse 1. And it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David. And Jonathan loved him.
So, hey, it said, it came to pass when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David. Basically, hey, it was their spirit was bearing witness with one another, man. And it said, hey, that David it said, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. So Jonathan basically, you know, grew a love for David, man. Not in that way, but you know, in a brotherly way and whatnot. Go ahead.
Verse 2. And Saul took him that day, and would let him go no more home to his father's house. And Jonathan and David made a covenant.
They did what?
And Jonathan and David made a covenant.
So, you know, Saul wound up keeping David around, man. He's like, okay, he good peoples or whatnot. So I see that Jonathan, he found favor in David or whatnot. So I'm going to keep him around. But then he said, then Jonathan and David made a covenant. But we don't.
Because he loved him as his own soul. And Jonathan stripped himself of the robe that was upon him, and gave it to David.
And did what?
And gave it to David.
So I'm like, that brotherly love was so strong that he basically giving the clothes off his own back, man. Similar to like how we would do for our brothers, man. If we come down to it. But go ahead.
And his garments, even to his sword, into his bow, into his girdle.
So hey, you know, Jonathan just throwing all these things at David, man. But go ahead.
And David went out whithersoever Saul sent him, and behaved himself wisely. And Saul set him over the men of war.
So even Saul, like, you know, Saul had a love for the David, you know, in the beginning or whatnot. Because he over here, you know, keeping them with him. Because, you know, Saul, he was rich and whatnot. And then now he was the king. So he even made him over the men of war, man. He set him over the men of war. But go ahead.
And he was accepted in the sight of all the people.
Hey, he was accepted. So, hey, not only Saul and Jonathan was taking a liking to David, but even the people, man. But go ahead.
And also in the sight of Saul's servants. And it came to pass, as they came, when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistines, that the women came out of all the cities of Israel, singing and dancing to meet King Saul with tabrets, with joy, and with instruments of music.
So, you know, Saul, he had all this, man. He had, you know, he had an army, and he had the women, and like, you know, his service and everybody, you know, coming to, you know, play music and do all type of things. But go ahead.
And the women answered one another as they played and said, Saul has slain his thousands, and David his 10,000.
So, hey, Saul, he only slayed 1,000. But then David, hey, you know that David was a man of war. He slayed 10,000. But go ahead.
And Saul was very wroth.
And he was what?
And Saul was very wroth.
So, hey, Saul was very wroth, man, because Hey, going back to like how it always go back to a woman, man, for some reason. Saul mad because the women seen that, hey, David killed more men than the king did, man. So they find it more favor than David than what they is Saul. And Saul, he peeped that, man, and now he's wrong. Hey, similar to like how Cain and Abel was, man. But go ahead.
And the saying displeased him. And he said, they have ascribed unto David 10,000, and to me they have ascribed but thousands.
So Saul acted like a little punk right now, man. He like, man, they said that David killed 10,000. And but then they said I only killed 1,000, but I'm the king, so I'm supposed to be having more kills and whatever the case may be, man. But go ahead.
And what can he have more but the kingdom?
Read that again, man.
And what can he have more but the kingdom?
He said, what can he have more but the kingdom, man? Hey, go ahead.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you, man, keep this in perspective, man. Like even how we read Genesis, man. Right. The Lord said in Genesis 4:7, he said that dude was shot, that not be accepted. Guess what? David was doing well. So guess what? It literally said in verse 5. Right. He was accepted of the people, right? Right. But guess what? We know 1 Samuel 15:22. Guess what? Saul went off. Right. And guess what? He said, sin lied at the door, and to him would be your desires, man. So guess what? Now he was denounced from being king. We all ultimately knew it was already on the way. Right. Guess what? And now look at it. Now guess what? Let's say they both, guess what, offer to the Lord. Because guess what? All the things that they're doing is for the Most High God. We know that. Guess what? David killed 10,000 for the Lord. Saul only 1,000. Well, thousands or whatever, how you even want to put it. Guess what now? Saul mad because he didn't kill as many as David. Right. Guess what? Cain was mad because Abel's offering was better than his. Well, Cain was mad because Abel, like I said, man. Guess what? We got to keep this thing in perspective. Guess what? And then what happened to Cain? He got mad. Right. His countenance fell. He got raw. And ultimately, he wanted to kill him, man. Guess what? I'm going to read down on the story, man. But like, keep this thing in that spirit of, guess what? Guess what respect would do? Because guess what? That's what he said. He said, what else can he have more than the kingdom? Right. Guess what? He got to respect all my people more than me. Right. All he needs is the kingdom now. Right. Let's keep this in perspective, this thing, man. Go ahead, all right.
He basically broke that word down, bro. Hey, it tickled me, but hey, at the same time, hey, it's fun. What I be saying? I'm laughing, but it ain't funny.
But it ain't fun.
No, man, because like Saul, he like, damn, man. I'm like, damn, I got all these things, man. Then David, he basically getting checks all across the board, man. All I got left is the kingdom, man. Y'all might well get that nigga that, man. Man, I want my respect.
And you gotta think of it too. Like what's that in first Ezra's? They was talking about it was what they was cousins. What they was cousins or something like that. And they was trying to see who could impress the king. And they brought their statements to the king.
Chapter 3, verse 4.
Yeah, man. How he was saying that the women, man, a lot of people do a lot of things for women, man. So you gotta watch that mindset. These women could get you into some real big trouble, man.
Yeah, like that. Like what he was saying, one came to him about the king, the other one came to him about wine, and Jerubbaal came to him about women and truth. They're like, okay, if the women don't get him, I know the truth will win. So that's him being wise in his own eyes. Well, not in his own eyes, but in the righteous standpoint, man, or wisdom standpoint. Well, read verse 9.
Verse 9, and Saul eyed David from that day forward.
What did he do, man?
From that day and forward.
It said, and Saul eyed David from that day and forward. You know how Negroes is nowadays, man. They over here mugging his brother because, hey, he got some better pair of J's on than what you got. He got better, better jacket and jeans and so on and so forth, man. Hey, talking about he smell better than me. That's what niggas will kill niggas for, man. Like, it just get to that point where it's stupid, man. Or like, even going back to the blood and crib example, they killing each other over colors. So like, nevertheless, Saul, he mean mugging David, man, from that day forward. But go ahead.
And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from God came upon Saul.
So how did it go for him?
Sin lied at the door, man.
Tell me, boy.
Hey, just because.
Guess what? We know it's not the devil. My fault. We know it wasn't the devil that did it because he don't have no administration unless the Lord give him to you.
Right.
That's where the evil spirit came from, man. Never forget that, man. Go ahead.
Hey, all that jealousy played a part, and
Pride.
that pride played a part, and now you got an evil spirit upon him, man. Now you got a hatred toward his brother, man. But go ahead.
And he prophesied in the midst of the house.
Uh-huh.
And David played with his hands at other time.
Uh-huh.
And there was a javelin in Saul's hand.
So hey, David, I mean this sent Saul overboard, man. Hey, David, he was mean with that damn with that heart, man. So hey, you know, at first he was pleasing Saul, but then over time, that evil spirit hopped on Saul. And we're gonna see what happened. But go ahead.
And Saul cast the javelin, for he said, I will smite David, even to the wall with it.
So hey man, Saul over there chunking javelins at this thing. He like, hey man, okay, I'm done, man. Now I'm finna just try to kill you now. Hey, he went from jealousy to trying to kill him. The only difference now is like in the time of Genesis with Cain and Abel, Cain successfully killed Abel. But see, David, he got away from Saul, man. But even going on the other aspect of like how David could have killed Saul twice. You know, even repented David because he cut Saul's skirt or whatnot, but then he was like, man, I could have got this fool, man. But instead, I remembered I shouldn't touch my the Lord's anointing, therefore I ain't even gonna do it. But he still repented because he did even that, man. But go ahead.
And David avoided out of out of his presence twice.
How many times?
Twice.
This ain't the first time David tried to flee from this dude, man. But go ahead.
And Saul was afraid of David because the Lord was with him.
Because of what?
Because the Lord was with him.
Hey, the spirit of fear hopped on Saul, man, because he knew that, hey, the Lord was with David, man. But go ahead.
And was departed from Saul.
Hey, he knew that the Lord was no longer with him. But go ahead.
Therefore, Saul removed him from him. Removed him from him. Yeah. Therefore, Saul removed him from him and made him his captain over 8,000. Over who? Over 8,000.
So Saul was like, man, I mean, you can't do nothing against the Lord's anointed, man, or the Lord's servants and stuff. So he went on ahead and made David, you know, captain over 1,000. Go ahead.
And he went out and came in before the people. And David behaved himself wisely in all his ways. And the Lord was with him.
Think about it like this, bro. My bad. I hate, man. I'm telling you, this is such a great story, man. Because guess what? All the precepts I done brought out, it's literally going with this class, man. Just look at it. Like, even look at it like this. In verse 10, it said it came to pass, the evil spirit came on Saul, right? The evil spirit is on Saul. He is officially out the spirit. Right. But then he continues to go and prophesy now. Guess what? He ain't with the Lord no more, but he prophesying. He going hard, right? And David in the spirit, playing the harp, like how he usually do. And guess what? Saul mad, like, nigga, I'm out the spirit. Right. I'm just saying this. You know what I'm saying? Now forget that. I'm out, you know, F the spirit, I'm out the spirit. I'm gonna throw this javelin at you a couple times, man. But even think about it like this. When he jumped down to verse 12, he said, and Saul was afraid of David. Guess what? We read in 1 John. Guess what he said? There's no fear in love. Hey. There's no fear in love.
Y'all can't just, deny the fact that David literally acted wise in all his ways, man. The key to being wise is Psalm 19 to verse 7, man. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. It also makes wise the simple. So everything that you do is wise. It's putting upon tables to do these things, bro.
That's the thing, boy, because think about it. He was afraid of him now. Guess what? Now that love departed from Saul, man. Now the love of David was gone. So guess what? Now he in full flood of sin, man. He was already a murderer by the spirit. Now guess what? Now he gonna fully try to kill him. Once you read on down. But like, look how our class lining up perfectly with this storyline, man. That's how you stay in tune with what's going on. That's how you correlate it. And guess what? That's how you ultimately precept the Bible, man. Go ahead.
Like, even like how the precept had said, hey, if you love your brother, you're in the light. If you don't love your brother, you're in the darkness. So hey, Saul in the dark and David in the light, man.
Well, hey, when you're in the spirit, that's what you see when people not in the spirit. And you see that envy, that hatred that somebody got to you. And guess what? They might not showing it to you. They might be like, oh yeah, he my captain over thousands.
Right.
This my brother, this my big hot. But guess what? A brother that's in the spirit gonna see through all of that, man. But guess what? You know what he not gonna do? He ain't gonna get out the spirit with you.
Right.
Because David didn't get out the spirit at all. He still loved Saul all the way to the end, man.
Even to the point where when Saul eventually died, and he killed the dude who finished out Saul. Man, I'm like, bro, you know, David, he had his moments where he did go off or whatnot, but for the most part, even when it came down to it, the Most High God really had favor with David, man. All because, hey, he did a majority of the things right, man.
To add on to what I was saying, bro, David really loved Saul, man. David loved Saul, man. After all the things that he did to him, man, that's love, bro. Like shit, a lot of brothers these days, man, they don't have that type of love with somebody trying to kill you over and over and over again. You can just steady forgiving that brother. That's why Christ said, man, you got to forgive these people 77 times 7, man. So
he said, forgive the Lord, for they don't know what they do. Because like even like how like even going back to like how Saul and David, they had a good relationship, and then over time, you know, every time that envy starts, and then you know you start hating the brother, and then you want to kill him, man. And then you see what had the Most High God, he like, okay, I'm gonna keep on you know, putting the spirit on David, man, because he's my servant, man. Saul, hey, I made you a king, and you were supposed to be serving, but you went out, so now I'm finna take you down and set up another, man. That's plain and simple. But but let's go ahead and keep reading, man.
Verse 14. And David behaved himself wisely in all his ways, and the Lord was with him.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore, when Saul saw that he behaved himself so like very wisely, he was afraid of him.
Hey, because David, he did the one thing that a lot of brothers can't do. He killed him with kindness, man. He dealt wisely with Saul, man. And he played along with all these things, man. And then, hey, that just made Saul even more afraid. He was like, damn, man, what's wrong with this dude? Am I crazy or he crazy? Provoke this. Yeah, I can't get him to break. But go ahead.
But all Israel in Judah loved David because he went out and came in before them.
So, hey, it is the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. They both loved David, man, because of all that he was doing, man, and how he carried himself. All right. But that's it on that story. Next precept we're gonna get is we got about 4 more precepts. We're gonna get Isaiah chapter 11, verse 13. Because you know we gotta touch on this aspect too, because I know our northern kingdom, because hey, that storyline's right up with what I'm finna bring out, man. The northern and southern kingdom. How we be having a hatred toward each other, man. Or one is envying one and the other one's vexing, man. Gotta stop that, man. Go ahead, man.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11 and verse 13. The envy also of
11. 11.
Oh, okay. The book of Isaiah, chapter 11 and verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again.
What?
It shall set his hand again.
So, hey, fight on multiple fronts, man. He set his hand again.
The second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea.
So, hey, basically, the Most High God, he's gonna be gathering us all up from all over the coast, man. Because hey, he said he's gonna do it, so hey, you know, all things have to be fulfilled. But all right, you can start at 10 real quick.
10.
Yeah, then we jump back in.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11 and verse 10. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles see. And his rest shall be glorious.
What?
And his rest shall be glorious.
All right, because like even with these Gentiles and whatnot, we know we got two sets of Gentiles. Let's see this like comment section. Which Gentiles this time about?
That's why I said go ahead and start that team. They can show you what these Gentiles are talking about, man.
Nah, for real.
Keep everything in context out there.
Well, they got that.
You got to think about it. Like if you keep it in context, when you read verse 11, it basically telling you, man. Let you know that hey, these Gentiles right here. Hey, he said, to it shall the Gentiles see, and his rest shall be glorious. Because when has the other Gentiles ever been? When is their rest ever gonna be glorious, man? Like you really just think about it, they ain't gonna have no damn rest once we get into the kingdom. They gonna be serving. They have, I guess, what they'll call it. Hey, we'll be at rest for real, man. It's like they got their rest right now. And, you know, them Gentiles, man.
Because even think about it, the reason because you know I was going to 13, but think about it, you know, hey, start at 10. Who the Gentiles he talking about? Even 11 to the 10, he said to set his hand again the second time. Hey, because guess what? He scattered us the first time.
Right.
Now the second time he gonna gather us the same way. He said, of his people which shall be left in those countries, not those countries specifically. No, Egypt, you can't get saved. Assyrians, you're not getting it. Elam, you're not getting it. You dirty Cushites, you're not getting saved. That's what he said. The people in these lands, man. Everybody in the islands, man.
There you go.
Just because you're an island boy, you might be Esau, man. Guess what? He gathered his people from these different places, man.
You were scattered, man.
That's
in the curses, man.
That is James chapter 1, verse 1. To the 12 tribes scattered abroad.
Exactly, bro.
2863. Well, let's go ahead and jump back to 12.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 12. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations. And he shall assemble the outcasts of Israel. And he shall assemble the outcasts of Israel.
That's not everybody. He said the outcasts of Israel. Those that are scattered abroad. But go ahead.
And gather together the dispersed of Judah.
Also because you know that Israel is going into the northern kingdom. Hey, Judah going into the southern kingdom. He's getting all of us, man. Again, can't miss it. Hey, go ahead.
From the four corners of the earth.
You don't get no plainer than that, man. He said from the four corners of the earth. Therefore, hey, we were scattered, man. So, because like even how it say in Hosea 1 and 10, man, like how we want these people like we like the sand of the sea. The only way they could really break us is because we know it's the Most High God, but even like on this smaller aspect, because we were scattered, man. Because just think about it, if we was all in one place, we weren't gonna be able to handle us, man. Unless the Most High God had his hand in.
That's the art of war. Divide and conquer. You split them all up, it's easier to attack them all. Why do you think every time when the other nations came against us, what was the first thing they did? Took away our leaders. Then after that, they took away the men. After that, it's the women and children. All of these people, it's a divide and conquer, man. It's a trickle down effect. Guess what? And that's how the Lord did it, man. He divided us all so we'll be conquered. But then when he bring us all back together, guess what? We'll never be conquered again, man. The Lord, man, I'm telling you, the Lord do what he got to do, man. Go ahead, verse 13. This is the point of breaking this precept back.
Finish the rest of that. It says, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart.
So it said, in that day, the envy also of Ephraim shall depart. So, hey, the northern kingdom ain't gonna be envying Israel. I mean, the southern kingdom no more. But go ahead.
And the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off.
So, hey, even the adversaries of Judah, hey, it's gonna be cut off, man. Like, hey, all of these nations that's coming against us, hey, it's gonna be cut off, man. Just like that. But go ahead.
Ephraim shall not envy Judah. And Judah shall not vex Ephraim.
So it said, Ephraim shall not envy Judah because, like, we'll go into like a deeper spiel on that. Well, I let the captains do that. But, hey, even like basically to sum it up, you know, one aspect is because we had the king. You know, the king come from the tribe of Judah, man. So you know, the northern kingdom they tend to have like an envy towards that. Man. They're like, damn, why couldn't he come from my tribe? I mean, most I got can do what he wants, but you know. And but read on.
But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the.
Jump back. And Judah shall fit or not fit you.
Oh, okay. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim.
Hey, we should be vexing Ephraim, man, because we know how we be vexing Ephraim. Because like even like bringing up today, man. Because like even with how it say Ephraim shall not envy Judah, even on the other aspects, sometimes it be Judah envying Ephraim because you know the northern kingdom they always had more than what Judah had. And then they look at it on the aspect, they're like, man, them ain't our people, man, because they got stores and stuff, but look at us. We only got like one store in the movie. But now they going through the same conditions that we're going through because they got to go to that white man just like how we got to go to. But then, and it said, Judah shall not vex Ephraim. Even on the flip side, Ephraim shall not vex Judah, man, because I know a whole lot of brothers, they have a whole lot of complaints about Jose and other northern kingdom brothers that be driving on the road, man. Because the way they be driving, that's why Maccabee said that Northern Kingdom brothers, y'all can't have no cheers, man. But hey, that's the most I got. But yeah, that's all I wanted on that, man.
Look at my thing. I ain't never even noticed that. Look what kingdom is it was in the Old Testament. I didn't even know that.
Let's go ahead and get the next precept. Let's get Deuteronomy 28 and 54. I was gonna get it, but I mean, might as well, man. The closing precepts.
54.
Yeah, 28, 54. Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate.
So it says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, soft, tender Negroes, man. Read on.
His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
His what?
His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
It said his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, man. Like we done brought a whole lot of examples how brothers had evil eyes towards their brother, man. Because they were tender and delicate. But go ahead.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
So it's a trickle down effect. Not only his brother, but his wife as well, man. But go ahead.
And toward the women of his children, which he shall lead.
Which he shall what?
Which he shall lead.
Hey, you can't deny this, man, that we're not the people of this book, because we really is, man. Because who has single parent households at an all-time high, man? Whether it be Northern Kingdom or whether it be us, man. And we got a whole lot of brothers that be planting seeds in these women, and then they wind up leaving them, man. Because they like, man, I can't take care of this responsibility, man. I just wanted to get it in and get out, man. Like, we got to get out that mindset, man. Because that's also you showing a hatred towards your family. I mean, to your brother or to your nation of people, man. Because like I say, he said he that don't take care of his household, roughly paraphrasing, he's worse than the infidel. He's worse than a person that don't believe, man. Right? What that tell you? But next precept we're gonna get is James chapter 3, verse 16.
The book of St. James, chapter 3 and verse 16. For where envying and strife is, there is confusion. In every evil work.
Every what?
In every evil work.
It says for where envy or jealousy and strife is, like, strife going into like, into like being a striker or causing things to ramp up or whatnot. It says there is confusion in every evil work. So hey, it's gonna be confusing because you like, hey, why what's wrong with you, man? Why you tripping on this brother, man? Tripping on his brother because of that. Like brothers gonna be that's dealing in the spirit. Hey, they like, man, what you tripping for, man? They're gonna be confused on it. Then once you come out, it's like, man, that's an evil work, man. You need to go repent of yourself, man. Or repent to the Most High God. But last precept. You can bring it up.
Get this real quick precept real quick before I pull that. Go to Romans 13 and 8. It's like a real good summary, man, of what I've been kind of touching on today, man. But guess what? Like Christ said, Christ out of his mouth was talking about the two greatest laws, man. But guess what? We can never forget. And guess what? There's other laws to that. Guess what? Within them laws, there's more laws. And within them laws, there's more laws than that. Guess what? Christians always try to say, what's only 2 laws? Love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's it. But guess what? How do you really love your neighbor? How do you really show love to somebody? Guess what? We literally read throughout all the passages. If you love him, you're going to keep the commandments. If you love the Lord, you keep the commandments. You got to love the Lord as you love your brother. So what you got to do? Keep the commandments with your brother. Guess what? David kept commandments with Saul, man. Guess what? Abel kept commandments with Cain. I mean, he got killed, but guess what? He was still doing it. Guess what? These are the things we got to do pleasing to the Lord, right? But go ahead, all right?
The book of Romans, chapter 13, and verse 8. Owe no man anything but to love one another.
Said, owe no man anything but to love one another. That's the only thing you owe somebody. Guess what? I might owe you $5, but I really don't owe you that. I owe you my love, man. Guess what? Do you love me enough? That's it. You got to owe you love, right? Read.
For he that loveth another had fulfilled the law.
Guess what? Christians have closed the book. Ooh, I got it. But guess what? He said fulfill the law. How do you fulfill the law? By just loving your brother, right? Or loving one another. Read on. Huh?
Verse 9. For
just loving it, right? Read.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Guess what? You're not sleeping with another brother or sister knowing they are married. Guess what? Knowing you don't have the intent of marrying them. Guess what? Knowing the intent that you got in your own heart, right? Read.
Thou shalt not kill.
Guess what? You're not going to kill another brother and sister. Guess what? You're not going to hate another brother, because we know that's the same thing about hating them. Hating them and murdering them is the same exact thing to the Lord, right? Read.
Thou shalt not steal.
Guess what? You're not stealing things from your brothers and sisters, man. You're not envying them, right? Read.
Thou shalt not bear false witness.
Guess what? You're not lying on brothers and sisters, man. You're not stunting on them, right? Read.
Thou shalt not covet.
Guess what? You're not envious of what they got. Guess what? You're not covetous, man. You're not being a damn nigga at your table, man. Guess what? You see what somebody else got, what you say, all praises, man. Lord willing, I'll catch up to that, man. Right? You're doing all these things, right? Read.
And if there be any other commandment.
Guess what? After all of these things he just named, if there be any other commandment, right? Read.
It is briefly comprehended in this saying.
It's briefly comprehended, meaning if you can't get it, you just can't damn get it. If you can't read in the scripture, you're supposed to keep these feast days, keep the Sabbath day, like I say, Leviticus 23. If you can't read in Numbers 15 to 38 that you're supposed to keep some fringes. If you can't read in Leviticus 21 that you're supposed to wear a damn beard and not a bald head, hey, I don't know what to tell you. It is briefly comprehended in this saying, man. Go ahead,
namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
That's literally what Christ was saying, man. Guess what? Christ literally spoke in deep, dark parables. And unless you're not an Israelite keeping the commandments, you'll never understand it, man. He said, yeah, it's only 2 great laws. Yeah, it's these 2. Oh, yeah. But guess what? Now you're deeper to it. You're like, damn, if I love my neighbor, I ain't committing adultery, I ain't lying, I ain't stealing, I ain't bearing false witness, I ain't coveting, I ain't doing none of these things, man. Guess what? Look how the Lord set that thing up beautifully, man. Man, I'm telling you, that's tough, man. Go ahead, I'll read verse 10.
It says, love worketh no ill to his neighbor.
Guess what? That's even what I bring it in. When he said there's, hey, perfect fear, man, cast it out. Perfect love, cast it out fear, man. Guess what? If you love somebody wholeheartedly, man, guess what? No ill thing will come to that, man. I've never known no ill thing coming just from straight love. Nothing, man. Read on now.
Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law.
And guess what? What is love? The commandments, man. Man, that's it. Go ahead, man.
When you read that, I was very kind of favorite.
Exactly.
And that knowing the time, and now it is high time. So wake out of sleep, man. Like once you do all that, you gotta know the time, man. Like we gotta cut out all the hatred, man, and envy and strife toward one another. Man. That's right. But the last precept that I'm gonna close out with is Sirach 25, verse 1. Because hey, Most High God, he loved this thing, man.
The book of Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 1. In 3 things I was beautified and stood up beautiful both before before God and men.
Not only the Most High God, but in front of men as well, man. It just ties right back in, man. But go ahead.
The unity of brethren.
What?
The unity of brethren.
The unity of brethren. The Most High God, He loved that thing, man. That's why He's telling us, hey, love one another, hey, come together, hey, and be that one body, man. But go ahead.
The love of neighbors.
Hey, the love of neighbors, man. Love your neighbor as yourself. But go ahead.
A man and a wife that agree together.
Yeah, what?
A man and a wife that agree together.
Because even though we know that the Bible is in a manly perspective or whatnot, you know, you gotta also love your wife as well, man. I was gonna go into like a little spiel on that, man. You know, that probably been like a 2-hour class, man. You know, but even when it comes down to that, hey, you gotta love your wife as well, man, as Christ loved the church, man. But hey, with that I say shalom. Hey, hope the class was edifying. Hope that everybody that tuned in, you know, feeling okay and learn some new precepts or whatever the case may be. Hey, we always talking about the GoFundMe and the Cash App, you know, but it always puts a great use, you know, for the building of the kingdom and not for our own vain things that we want, man. Hey, we hope that you continue to, you know, deal with your brothers and sisters with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You know, just keep on enduring this thing, man, for the time is at hand. Right. But today's law, or tonight's law, should I say, it's gonna be Leviticus 19 and 17, man.
The book of Leviticus.
Great.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
He said, of thy people, not the other people, man. Hey, you can have a grudge till the day that we die with them, man. Even when we make it to the kingdom, we still have that grudge to them. Hey, tell you know, the Most High God, He'll kill Esau out. We still, if we, we still probably have a grudge then, man. Bastard. But you know, at the same time, hey, the Most High God, He got the last say so. But go ahead.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
I am who?
I am the Lord.
So hey, the Most High God said do it, so damn it, do it, man. Okay. With that,
So